Hey again, everyone. It's Tyler Cavalli and Jacob Roth along with you for KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. Today we're in southeast Nebraska, in Nebraska City, as we're sitting in front of Cornhusker Beef, which is another spot here in the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. Thanks to our great sponsors powering us on a red meat road trip to southeast Nebraska, the Nebraska Beef Council, Cross-Diamond Cattle, Cross-Diamond Meats in Bertrand, the Dawson County Cattlemen, and of course the Nebraska Cattlemen. We're standing in front of Cornhusker Beef, which we understand is going to be, or is, I should say, a family operation here in downtown Nebraska City, and this is a really cool spot.
No, it's exciting to kind of see more. It's just a really nice building, not a spot where you feel like you usually see the processor, but we'll see how kind of things work out because we've seen a lot of creative ways on how processors make it work, but excited to go in and learn a little bit more about what they're offering here in Nebraska City.
Yeah, it's a good note. One thing that we have on what is many stops now here in our back pocket is you never truly know what you're going to see, when you walk into a place because they're all so different and they make the most use of all their spaces.
Well, no, I think you just think back to some of the stops we talked about at the Speakeasy. You pull up to it, then you get inside, and it's a totally different thing.
Right. Yeah.
That was on the restaurant side, and who knows what inside here will look like, but excited to learn more and kind of figure it out because this is one of the bigger spots in southeast Nebraska outside of Lincoln and Omaha. Moving south is going to see, it's kind of a hub. Maybe we'll hear more about that. Interested to see stuff.
All right, so let's learn more about Cornhusker Beef here in Nebraska City. Hey everyone, it's Tyler Cavalli and Jacob Roth for KRVN Radio. We're here in Nebraska City today, part of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska, and part of the, of course, Nebraska Beef Council Passport Program. We're today at Cornhusker Beef, where we're talking to Peyton Grotrian, who is the manager here. And Peyton, let's talk about the facility you have here in Nebraska City. I understand it's kind of an expansive facility overall, but talk about the place that we're in right now.
So this is our retail store / processing building. So we raise everything 30 miles south in Johnson, Nebraska. Then we slaughter it there at our facility there, and then we bring it up here in a reefer truck. And this is where we process it and sell it all.
Talk about how you guys got started here at Cornhusker Beef and how long ago?
We started here about 2020 because we used to farm quite a bit of cows and we wanted to get back into it, but the cattle market was kind of down at that point. So we wanted to be able to just raise it and then sell it, just to make the most money pretty much.
And that was kind of during the time of COVID, right? So how did that go for you guys?
It was a long summer. We built everything ourselves, and then it used to be the old Fort building before they moved up the street. So we took it out downstairs and then put it in a cooler and a freezer and a processing room. And
So in terms of going into this whole thing of being a locker, obviously harvesting, doing all of that, I'm sure there were some learning curves, right?
Oh yeah, our first time took us all day to process half an animal, and now we can get it done in about 2 hours. And we can get about 2 of them done in a day if we really want to do it right now.
And you talked about your own cattle. So is it all your own cattle that you guys and your family's raising that then obviously you guys are then selling at that point?
Yep, everything that comes through our store we raised, so everyone knows where it came from.
Well, that's a really cool kind of opportunity for folks to be able to stop in and not wonder like, oh, it's probably Nebraska Beef. We know where it's coming from relatively, but to know exactly what family's doing it. What have you kind of learned having to jump into it, obviously, and helping out as part of the family operation? Talk a little bit about the overall kind of the retail space and the more information about it, because you said the processing's downstairs.
Yep.
Talk about up here.
I had to learn a lot about what everything is because everyone will come in and be like, what's this? Where's it from? So you really have to know the whole animal and where every cut comes from. It's challenging. It took me like probably 2 years to understand everything because I was just working up here and people are like, where cuts this from? So you have to know exactly where everything's from.
No, definitely a different thing there. When it comes to the processing side, you guys said you've gotten a little bit quicker at that. What does an average week look like for you guys when you're kind of going through it and processing your own animals?
We do Monday, we process. We'll do between 1 or 2 depending if we have any custom orders or how empty the cooler is. And then Tuesday is normally when we slaughter. And then then Tuesday back home they slaughter, and then I'll be up here grinding ground beef and making snack sticks, beef jerky, summer sausage and all that.
Again, we're talking to Peyton Grotrian, who is the manager here at Cornhusker Beef here in Nebraska City, our latest stop of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. All All right, so you talked about obviously the process that goes into it. So is this, when you sell your beef, obviously after everything is done, is it primarily everything that goes into the coolers that we have here that's standing behind us? Or are you guys doing custom orders, selling quarters, half, or even full at that point?
Yeah, we've probably done 4 halves this summer already. It really depends. They just people order them and then we'll do them. We'll get them done normally within a week or two, which is good. About most, if you go to another slaughterhouse, it'll be like a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
But we can get it done within a week or two. But most of the time, it just comes to the cooler. But we have a lot of people that just order a few cuts at a time. Like they'll order just, I don't know, a few ribeyes, a few strips, a few fillets. Because normally by Wednesday or Thursday, the cooler's empty. So people like to order their stuff so they know they get it in time.
So you're almost just kind of a specialty operation in terms of just selling certain steaks or cuts of meat overall.
Pretty much, yeah.
Talk about what is in the coolers overall. I mean, obviously there's some steaks. Do you guys have some roasts? What all will someone encounter when they come in here?
We have pretty much everything. We have steaks, roast, brisket, ground beef, and then we have the specialty items over here like our snack sticks, beef jerky, and whatnot.
In terms of your customers, is there a lot of people here from Nebraska City, southeast Nebraska? What does that clientele look like?
We've got a few people from Omaha, a few people from Lincoln, and a lot of people over across the river in Iowa and Missouri as well, but we got some from Nebraska City as well.
No, it's definitely a kind of a cool dynamic. One of the things that we've kind of learned as we've gone on more and more stops is every single spot is going to be different. What do you feel like kind of sets Cornhusker Beef Company apart when it comes to your storefront and just kind of your overall operation? What makes you guys stand out?
The fact that we raise everything that comes through our slaughterhouse, pretty much.
And is it black Angus, red Angus, or what are you guys mostly slaughtering?
It's Angus Wagyu mix.
Oh, wow.
So they're about 75 Angus, 25 Wagyu. So you get the nice marbling on them without having the long time for a Wagyu cow to get ready to process.
And how long are you guys hanging these animals at that point?
We slaughter them, put them in our reefer truck for 2 days to cool them down, because the reefer truck goes down to 16 degrees, so it cools them down a lot faster. And then they sit in our cooler, our walk-in cooler downstairs for 2 weeks, and then we'll process them.
It's interesting learning about how you guys do it here. Obviously, people are doing it for 2 weeks, or they're doing it for 30 days, or whatever. How did you guys decide on this process in terms of how long you want to hang them, using the reefer truck, right, and then bringing it here and slaughtering here? How did that all come about?
It was honestly trial and error, because we've never done this before. It's new for all of us, so we're just like a lot of internet research and a lot of just trying something, and if it works, it works.
And having another locker here in southeast Nebraska, you feel like that's something that was needed at that time?
Yeah, when we started, we were going to have our location in Syracuse because we already had a building, but that building didn't fit our needs, and this one came for sale, and there was no other slaughterhouses or lockers here in Nebraska City. So we're like, and we do have some competition with Fairway and Walmart, but most of the people that come in here want to know where their beef's from and don't want to buy their beef over there, even though it might be a little bit cheaper.
The way the cattle prices are right now, has that changed your guys' game in terms of what you're doing, selling-wise, prices-wise overall?
We've only raised our prices once since we started, and there's only like 50 cents more. So I mean, sure, the cattle market's really high right now, and we can make the same amount of money just selling them at the market, but we just want to keep providing quality beef for our customers pretty much.
No, it's a really cool perspective to have, and it's not something that everywhere has. Talk a little bit more about the operations side as you guys obviously slaughter them out there, then bring them here. What's that whole process like? 'Cause that's a lot of kind of things to jump through. Do they come over in primals, or are they over in just halves, or what does that kind of look like?
So when we slaughter them over at the farm, we'll cut them into quarters, and we have them on carts. So we'll just bring them over on the carts and then set them in the walk-in cooler.
As we've been going to all the different stops here in the Nebraska Beef Passport Program, obviously the fun part about it is when people are getting their passport stamped, they have to buy something, right?
Yep.
So what is something that you would recommend that someone comes in here on the passport that they should buy?
Well, Dad would like to tell me the chuck roast because it does barely sell, but our ribeyes and our strips and our fillets are probably our specialty cuts. That's what everyone comes in and buys.
So I know you had mentioned that you guys obviously are raising all of this as well. Do you guys take in any animals, or have you thought about that at some point? If somebody had their own cow that they're like, hey, you know what, actually I'm looking for somewhere to slaughter my cow for me.
We've had people ask, but we just can't do it because we farm as well. We don't have the time to do it with other people's animals, and we'd like to keep it where it's just our cows. We know where they came from. We know their bloodline and all that.
I'm sure it's been fun in terms of your family operation doing this all together.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments because we're all family, but it's nice having the whole family here. Yeah.
And your area here with the place that we're in right now here in downtown Nebraska City, how has that gone well for you guys?
It's good because we're right on the main drag. We're not far from Lincoln. We're not far from the big cities without having to be in the big cities, and it's not far from home either. I mean, it's half an hour, but it's doable, and it's just nice location.
Payne, as we wrap things up here, talk about, again, your location and the hours that you guys are open, and if somebody wanted to get a hold of you in terms of if they wanted to buy a quarter, a half, or whatever that may be.
So we're located at 815 Central Avenue, downtown Nebraska City, and if they want to get a hold of us, we have a Facebook page. They can send us a message, and there's my dad and my uncle's phone numbers are on there as well.
Okay, all right, great. And the hours here?
Oh, we are open 9 to 5 on weekdays and 9 to 2 on Saturdays.
All right, very good. Well, again, stop by here at Cornhusker Beef, which is, again, part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. Our latest stop of KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. That is Peyton Grotria, who is the manager here at Cornhusker Beef. All right, we're back here at Cornhusker Beef in Nebraska City. Tyler Cavalli, Jacob Roth along with you, our latest Red Meat Road Trip stop. And this was a really fascinating stop. We kind of talked about coming into it, not knowing what to expect in this really nice, beautiful building here, but this is a true family operation.
No, and I think that's one of the coolest things is it was just like, yeah, this is just my dad, my uncle, me, brothers help out, grandpa helps. It's just a true family operation of farmers and cattle producers just looking to cut out kind of that middle person and do it themselves. And it's kind of grown over the years. They said they started in 2020. Again, kind of a theme we've noticed about eastern Nebraska. Started at a crazy time, but it's just really cool to see small business like this be able to work and continue to grow and supplement the farm, which is kind of the goal of everything, is to help yourself out if you're on the producing side of it, as opposed to just the processing.
And I think that's the one thing people, as we have come to accustom to know, the customers in particular, they like knowing exactly where their beef is coming from. And when you have a place like this here at Cornhusker Beef in Nebraska City that is literally growing their own herd, right, and then harvesting it themselves and then processing it and then offering it to their customers, if you're a customer, I don't know how much better it gets.
Well, no, absolutely. And then another thing to think about is they're harvesting out south of here around Johnson is what they were saying. That cattle's never going to have to go very far its whole life.
Right.
Obviously, once it's quartered up and comes here, it's a little bit of a jaunt. But other than that, it's living just in its regular realm where it's always lived and doesn't have to go very far, which is another thing that is kind of a nice thing to know, that they know where it's going on, they know how it's being treated, and the cattle's just in comfortable places.
And they kind of do it at their own pace, right? They only do a couple of head a week. Keeps their freezers full enough here inside Cornhusker Beef in downtown Nebraska City. They do offer, obviously, if you want to buy a half, a full, or a quarter, but what they're doing here is working.
No, and they're contented. They're happy with the size that they have and want to keep working with what's working here and maybe expand in the future, but as of right now, they love what they've got going on.
They truly support local in a place like this here at Cornhusker Beef. Get another great stop here in downtown Nebraska City, the latest stop here. KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska. Once again, thanks to our great sponsors, the Dawson County Cattlemen, the Nebraska Cattlemen, of course, Cross Diamond Cattle, Cross Diamond Beets, and of course, the Nebraska Beef Passport Program put on by the Nebraska Beef Council. So stop by here at Cornhusker Beef in Nebraska City. It is our latest stop on the Red Meat Road Trip. He's Jacob Roth. I'm Tyler Cavalli for